I just finished a really great, let me give a better descriptor. I just finished a really cathartic movement practice, and I'm just like pulsating, right? I'm sure that many of you all who have been in the practice before know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this like openness and richness, and just like, it's like, ooh, I want more of that. And you can feel this really big expansion in your chest, and it feels like illustrious and sexy, but it also feels very challenging to sit in that openness, that open space. And I was thinking, I've been thinking a lot about, I've got a couple just thoughts and tidbits that I want to share with you all over this October. And you know, we don't talk enough about the things that get us to the point, or the things that are like an ongoing or contributing factor to why we need spaces for ourselves. We don't talk enough about why, you know, it's necessary to retreat, right? Life can be really beautiful and really full and rich and vibrant, but you can also still need like a space to move and breathe just for you. And I don't think we talk about that enough, right? It's not like self-care and wellness is not about just making a life. There's like the quote, like, make a life that you don't want to vacation from. But it's like sometimes you still need a vacation, because there's still routine, there's still grounding, there's still like, you know, spaces where you're in this kind of like wash and repeat cycle, you know, of the things, all of the things that need to get done, the to-do list, the errands, the cooking, the running around, the taking care of and figuring things out, and then just the life stuff, right? You know, loving other humans, and, you know, transitions and career choices, and, you know, the work that you're doing and finding your purpose. Like, all of these things can be really challenging. And if we aren't giving ourselves the space, to actually process that, to actually process all of the varied experiences that are coming in and through our mind, body, and spirit, you know, we get stopped up. And when we get stopped up, that's when everything starts to go to shit, right? We start to feel really, you know, irritable and tired and frustrated and alone and unable to really articulate or explain what it is that we need to be able to come out of that place. And, you know, it just feels like this ongoing, you know, ball rolling down this hill. And it's like, as the more you roll, the more stuff you pick up, the more baggage that jumps on top of you. And it's just like more and more and more and more and more. And sometimes we just need to stop. No matter how much we love, you know, our friends, our parents, our partners, our children, you know, the work that we do, no matter how much we love all of that stuff, like sometimes we just need a pause. We need a break. We need a timeout so that we can like recollect ourselves, and we can shed, you know, some of the stuff that we've picked up, so that we can examine more deeply, you know, maybe what's going on within our bodies or within our minds. Like, we just need a space to be able to do that. And when we don't have that space, we suffocate. And then if we're suffocating, we're, you know, grasping on to the people around us, and we create a death grip, because that death grip is just a reflection of of us already suffocating. And we're suffocating because we aren't giving ourselves the space to breathe. We aren't giving ourselves the space to, like, you know, really tap into something that is bigger than us so that we can recharge. We're steady trying to do it on our own. And I think the surrender of it all, the surrender in the movement, the surrender in coming to practice, and the surrender in the exploration of your practice, and not just allowing it to get into this monotonous, you know, type of routine. It's the antithesis to monotony. It's the antithesis to, you know, the wake up and go to bed, the wake up and go to bed. It's the thing that's like the spark, you know? And if we don't allow it to be the spark, then we essentially just add one more thing to our to-do list, and that's when self-care becomes like a burden. It just starts to feel like, okay, one more thing that I've got to go do, because otherwise all the guilt is gonna like pile on top of me, you know, if I don't go like get my nails done or get my hair done or whatever, you know. That's why it's different. It's different to have a movement practice that really allows for you to process all of that stuff and to feel it, and to be the antithesis to the monotony, so that you can wake back up. You need to be able to wake back up and to, you know, be fully present to what you're experiencing in your day-to-day life, because you're gonna miss something. I was watching This Is Us the other day, and you know, I'm at the very beginning. I'm starting on season 1, and the father, the biological father, says to the girl Olivia at the party, he's like, you know, you need to catch your moments. And I was like, ooh, like, yeah, like, you know, he's trying to catch all of these moments with this newfound family that he's got. And, you know, he's trying to encourage this girl to, like, not continue to, like, go down this path of avoidance, right, of herself and also of others. But avoiding, you know, what it feels like within herself to love people, to be fully invested in that love, and to, like, you know, to be vulnerable and to take that risk. And we can also avoid vulnerability and avoid intimacy and avoid closeness by being too close. By being so right up on the thing that there's no space for possibility. There's no space for there to even be a jolt. There's no space for, you know, a reconnection, because there's never a point where there's a break. And we, you know, demonstrate this lack of space by constantly being there and not taking the space and time away, and trying to always be on top of the issue, and trying always to figure things out, and trying always to fix some more, you know, just always like being right in there. And that is avoiding the intimacy, and that is avoiding the closeness, and it also deprives us of what we need for ourselves, which is the space to be able to process and to just be real with ourselves, like about how we're feeling, and to not feel like we're covering up or hiding or shrinking or, you know, trying to be polite or trying to make sure that people understand. Just a space where we can just, you know, breathe easy for once. And no one, you know, when we talk about like building family structures, when we talk about, you know, what it's like to, you know, go on and like live your purpose and all this stuff, you know, we don't talk about like needing that. Needing that time where you can step outside of that identity, so that you can rediscover the other parts of yourself that will feed you, that will make you feel whole, that will give you the peace of mind that you're searching for, that will give you the sense of self that you've been longing for. We forget about that. So this week, don't forget about that. What do you need? What do you actually need this week? What would make you feel really good? What would make you feel like, you know, recharged? That should be the first thing at the top of the to-do list.